when you see Tamra and Eddie walking and they're hiking and he's like, how was your trip? And Tamra's like, well, I got to tell you what happened. I'm like, you guys don't think that she was telling him the whole time? Like, you don't think that she got home and she's like, Eddie, listen to this. And then like this, I'm going to tell you all of this. I just want to gear you up. I'm going to tell you that Ryan said he was going to me and just we're going to film the scene tomorrow, because you can see like the reactions are just, you know what I mean?
Yes, 100%. And the best was when Eddie said, what did he say? He had some tea, like that this group of guys had told him something also. And Tamara was like, what? They did? It was just kind of like, you guys, seriously? So not only was their conversation kind of obvious, Jen's and Ryan's conversation, girl, please. Like, Jen had given him the heads up before they started filming.
I mean,
his reputation as a serial cheater was brought up in Montana. Give me a break. Like,
when he's swearing, that's not true. I'm like, Ryan, just change your name to Ryan.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the reunion of season 9 of Atlanta when Todd and Kenya are like, they're acting their asses off. Like, that's exactly what I think of. They're acting their asses off.
Like, he's like, that's not true. And she's like, no. And like, if I came out with all of the things, like, I have a lot in this fall and she's lucky I'm being nice. And he's like, well, maybe it's time not to be nice anymore.
Oh,
I'm like,
dun, dun, dun.
Jen, I don't know where you're from, girl, but it says a lot when you meet somebody and you find out where they're from. Like, I know a lot of great people from like Middle America and Southern Belles. And I know that they can dress up. They look amazing. They can be very beautiful. And they can also be very feisty. And Tamra is not your typical OC chick. So the moment that you try to act like you have some shit on her and you back her into a corner, well, apparently she's going to throw a napkin in your face and flip out.
I was gagged that's next week. I was like, oh, we're already at the napkin throwing. So I interviewed Gina, I think like last week, and we were just kind of talking about the season so far. And she was like, Ricky, like, can you believe how much we've already done in the first couple of episodes? I'm like, no, girl. And she said, and you will not even believe it's just the tip of the iceberg. Like, just get ready. So you got to give credit to these OC ladies, because they came back and they really said, no, we need to fix this show and make it good again and make it what it used to be. And they are doing that flawlessly so far.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. I feel like they're doing a great job. And Andy just recently said in an interview that he's pretty sure that Vicky Gunvalson will be making a full-time return for next season. So that gets me excited. Like, I like that we're getting our Tres Amigas back. Hopefully we have like a little bit of an ego that's kind of been deflated, maybe humbled a little bit more. And we have like a show and not like a diva. I mean, a diva, but not like a total diva. You know what's so funny, by the way, too? I don't know if you know this, because you represent, like, obviously when you do your interviews, you represent Out Magazine, right?
Right.
And so Bravo, for a lot of like talent, if it's podcasters or YouTubers right now, like a lot of the Bravo talent, they're on bans. Like, they're not allowed to do podcast interviews, YouTube interviews. Jason and I were talking about this, and Jason's like, did you see Ricky's interview? I was like, no, yeah, I did. I said, last time we spoke, he was talking about interviewing Heather Dubrow. He's like, so they can do interviews. I said, yeah, but they can do interviews right now with major media. They're not doing interviews because I think what happened was you get sometimes like YouTubers or podcasters or people who just really like, I think they forget that there is a whole business involved and the network is trying to keep control over the narrative. And they need to know, like, they need to make sure everything that goes out aligns with what they want. And sometimes you get a lot of people who want that gotcha moment just because it helps the channel. And then Bravo's like, okay, wait a minute. You want the gotcha moment? How about this? Got your ass. You're not getting anything.
Yeah, I did not know about that. That's super, super interesting. I didn't realize they were kind of on a podcast hold right now, because I'm sure you'll agree. I personally find not just housewives, but celebrities in general, like anybody, like when they go on a podcast, they're way more loose-lipped. They're way more comfortable. Like, that's just at least what I've observed, because podcasts are just so conversational. They're so easy. They're so fun versus when you're doing like a full-on interview and, it's like going in the press, like, even though it's kind of silly nowadays, because like, you can get just as much information from a magazine seen in a podcast interview. Like people, as long as they're talking, you'll probably get some good information anywhere. But I think just given the history of media and interviews and all of that, there's just more of like an official, I guess, status you can say. Like, I don't know if that's correct, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I didn't realize that. That's interesting. Cause yeah, I personally haven't had any like real slowdown or anything like that. Thankfully, I'm still rocking and rolling. I actually just got to interview Erica yesterday about,
oh, did you?
Yeah, which was so awesome about her Vegas residency. And of course, we talked about a couple Beverly Hills things. I haven't posted it just yet, but I'll probably be posting maybe a clip or two either today, tomorrow, or at the very latest early next week. So I'm excited for people to check that out because she was awesome.
That's so exciting. See, you know what I mean? I think that's also great. I think it's smart too, as for Bravo as a network and a business. I, like you said, just to button it up, it's like you're a little bit more loose-lipped and comfortable in these podcast conversations and say things. And, you know, there's not, I don't know. Listen, I'm not mad at you, Bravo. I get it.
Yes.
I get it.
We're manifesting Adam's interviews to return.
No, listen, it's okay. As much as I love them, I love our interviews. If we get breaks, we're okay with breaks. Bravo.
Yes. Sometimes it's needed.
Yes. Yeah. Sometimes it's needed. Oh, by the way, I saw in the live chat where some people were asking about BravoCon tickets, and I think Shaylee said that they are supposed to go on sale July 21st.
Ooh, so, yeah, y'all better book your flights. Make it happen. I cannot wait for BravoCon. I can't believe we're getting closer. It's going to be here before we know it.
We are right around the corner. And, you know, BravoCon, it kind of feels like just like a little sea of stars. And speaking of a sea of stars, before we end up wrapping this up, I had to ask you about another person.
Okay.
Little Annabelle.
Yeah.
What was that?
I'm bored. I hate to say it. She's a cute girl, and I like Emily. Mm-hmm. I'm bored. I don't want to see these kids modeling. I'm so bored. I don't even care. Okay, I'll be honest with you guys. Like, I started watching Housewives at the end of my high school run. I don't know if you know this. I'll keep this short because I know we're short on time. But what's funny is the reason I actually started watching Housewives, this is like exclusive, Adam. The reason I started watching Housewives is because Dorit, of course, on Beverly Hills, like was very friendly with my uncle growing up in high school. Like they kind of like grew up together. They were like really, really close. And so when it was announced that Dorit was joining the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, you know, my uncle's texting us. He's like, oh my God, you guys, like Dorit's going to be on this show. And I think my mom has met her. I know for a fact my dad has. And like, this is all pre-Housewives or whatever, right? And so when this happened, we were like, oh, well, we got to support. Like, let's watch. So we started watching Dorit on Beverly Hills. And then my mom was like, wait, this is like really entertaining. I'm going to try watching the other franchises. And then she started watching. That's when I think Kelly Dodd joined OC. That's when Margaret joined New Jersey. Like there was like a lot going on in the Housewives world when we first started watching. And so we all kind of got into it, right? And now obviously me then working in media, I started, you know, interviewing these housewives and stuff. So it's very full circle. And I bring this up because Dorit's when I started watching Beverly Hills. So I never watched it when Yolanda was on and she had Gigi and Bella and like they were kind of going through a similar thing on the Housewives. But I would like to think, I don't really think that's that interesting either. Like love Gigi, love Bella, like that's cool, but I don't really want to see Yolanda. I don't really like the momager storyline. It's basically what I'm trying to say. I wasn't that interested when Lisa Rinna did it with her daughters. Like I think it's kind of boring. So then Emily trying to do it with Annabelle, I'm like,
I forgot who said this. I think it was even Tamra who said it on Two Teas in a Pod, or it was Teddy. But one of them said like, I'm good on the kids. Like, yeah, I really don't love the scenes with the kids. And I get that. And I understand that the network is trying to show them as like a full circle. Like she's a mom, she's a wife, she's a villain. She could do it all. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Again, my original question, I think I brought this up the last time. Where is her storyline of her saving the people who are wrongfully prosecuted? Where is that? I thought that storyline was actually interesting. And now she's taken her kid to modeling like stuff. What? Like, I don't understand. Like, what happens? Like, why did we go from that to this? I'm still waiting for her to explain that. I'm hoping she will at some point, but like, I thought that storyline was actually very interesting. And I thought it would have been very cool to see her using her law degree and like, you know, her profession to help people who were wrongfully prosecuted. But now I'm just seeing her taking her to, you know, a modeling agency. I'm like, I don't want to see this. Like, what happened? You know?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I get that. And, you know, even when Gigi and Bella were doing it, It wasn't exciting to watch on TV. It was just exciting to see how great it turned out for them, and now to watch them in like life. But Ann T said, "What language did Dorit speak back then?" I love this. Was it a blender? Was it a blender of different accents, or was she like, Ricky, what are you doing out here, Ricky? And all of a sudden now it's like PK.
Oh my gosh, please. Well, y'all know Dorit is from Connecticut, and that's where my family's from. So they were in Connecticut when they were hanging out at that age. So I don't know what was going on, but that's the tea that I can serve.
So
I'm sorry, say that again.
Do we have British accents in Connecticut?
We do not. We do not. Okay, but here's the thing. And I'm not trying to be like a Dorit defender.
Okay.
Girl, she literally lived in Europe for how long? Like forever.